Okay, so next little video I'm going to do a very basic tutorial on assemblies. So again, if you want to create an assembly of all your parts, obviously eventually we'll have had everything drawn up there, so you'll have your bulb holder, all your lampshade parts, all that type of thing, is then to actually assemble it. So you can see there's a tab down the bottom that says assembly, so as long as you've drawn everything in the same design file, you can click on the assembly icon there. If you haven't got an assembly icon, you can always just go to click new element and create assembly there, but we've already got one on this one. So dead easy this. Click on the insert. It will ask you then to start adding in what parts you want to actually assemble. Again, before we start, across the top, again, these are all our sort of different icons and different mates, if you like, how we can join our pieces together. And we'll try and go through lots of these when we start assembling our lamp all together. But I'll try and do the very basics in this one. So click on Insert. Again, dead easy, so all your parts will list down there. So if you've got more along your bottom, they'll add there. So we're going to add our base in to start with. So as our first piece, and again, we'll just drop in it onto our page. Doesn't really matter where at the moment, somewhere near the this origin part. Once we've done that, I'm going to right click and fix it. So that means that we can't move it from that location on the page. You can see it's fixed to the origin. What I'm then going to do is add in our steel frame. And again, you know, I tend to move it away from the drawing. It just makes it a little bit easier when we come to actually assembling it properly. Once we're only going to do these two parts to start with, give you the basics, and we're going to look at how we go about fixing these two parts together. I'm just going to close that section up, mess that up. Sorry about that. Don't click on the cross, click on the tick, sorry about that. So as you can see, like I say, this section is fixed. I can't move this. That's what that icon means here, that it's actually fixed. And you'll see that I can actually move this section around. How it normally works on a lot of CAD softwares is we have to sort of what we call mate or align surfaces. So we would tend to normally tell the computer that we want this top face to mate with this bottom face down here and make that aligned. We then have to think about, well, I want to mate that circle with that circle, so that gets it sort of positioned, you know, somewhere on top. We then have to do some kind of alignment from the side to an edge or that type of thing. What they've tried to do in Onshape is make that process a little bit easier, so it's not so many stages. So again, you've got this first one here, which is a fastened mate, which basically does all sort of three things. So it aligns the faces all together. Again, on this one you can see you've got a revolute mate, so if I wanted something pivoting, again, I might have a little show you that in a second and show you what that does. It's fairly obvious. Clearly a slider, so if you've got a pin going into a hole that you want to be able to move, that's that one. You can actually align planes. Again, we've got this one where it's a cylindrical mate, so if we've got you know, a nut going onto a bolt or that type of thing, that's an easy one. Obviously a pin that goes into a slot, all that type of thing. It's got lots and lots of different ones. So we're going to start off with looking at this first one here. So again, like always in Onshape, if you hover over it and leave it for a second, it actually tells us a bit about it. So it says, removes all degrees of freedom between two parts, won't allow it to pivot or anything. Hover over the part to display the available mate connectors. Select the mate connectors for each part. Use the shift key to maintain visibility. You don't really need to worry about that. It's not too important. So I'm going to do that one first. So the first thing it's asking me to do. So you can see if I hover over the fixed part, again, you know, I can select any part of it. If you go at the bottom, in theory, I could rotate. I could, you know, basically that would say, right, I want that face to mate with something over here. Again, I can do it on any edge, any side, all that type of thing. But if we think we clearly want this to mate with the bottom of our frame, so this thing here is the bit that actually fixes it. I sort of think of that as a bit like a pin on the page. So that, if I did that, would then mate. So I'm going to do one and then delete it. So think about where that this sort of pin is here. So if I click on that and then go to my second part, again hover on this bottom face, again wherever So again, if I hover there, you can see that this pin can be moved to any position, centre of hole, centre circles, all that type of thing. What it'll do, if I click it there, you'll see, and when I click OK, that what it's done is literally move it and fix them two pieces together. So that's not quite how we want it to be. Obviously it's now onto the second one, we just wanted to cross it off. That's not how we want it to be, so I'm just going to undo that, or remove it, delete it, and it'll allow me to move that back out the way. So again, we'll show you again. So I'm going to go to Fasten Mate, select the top face, and I'm actually going to select that hole, because obviously that's a reference that we can use. So I'm going to select the top face, orange, and I'm going to select that hole. I'm then going to zoom out, rotate round. Again, you've got to get used to moving it. So again, I'm now selecting this bottom face, and again, I want to reference that hole as well. So again, that's going to mate the two surfaces together and then fix those sort of centre circles. So you'll see, once I've done it, that it will mate our frame all together. So it basically means that I can't now move that anywhere. It is fixed in all directions. I can't lift it up. I can't slide it forward, all that type of thing. So that's how we want it to be. That's how we be. Again, obviously this is going to the second fixing. We don't need it on this one because that's done. Like I say, I will just show you very quickly another example. So again, I'll just get rid of that one. So again, I can always delete things. Again, move it out of the way. Could potentially use this one, so this Revolute Mate. So again, I can select what we had before, so the idea that I want it to revolve around this sort of section here. Again, turn it round, move it out of the way. So again, I want to select this face. And again, using this circle, so very similar to what we did on the last one, but you'll see the difference. So if I scroll that to there, so again, it looks very much the same, and if I just close across, click the X on this one, what it allowed me, so it's actually, because it was a Revolute Mate, basically allow it to revolve. So if I select that, you'll see that it actually fixes it in the plane attached to the top, but it'll actually allow me to revolve it around. So again, I could actually do it, you know, that way, and then think, right, I know, I could actually align it from this hole to this hole. So again, I could do much the same. So you're thinking, oh, slider mates, all that, cylindrical mate. So I could actually do it this way. So I'll fix it there. Go to this hole there. Get me a little pin mark. Again, then scroll back out. Just move it out of the way. And I want this hole connecting as well. I might just do it underneath in case it doesn't like that. And again, you'll see it'll basically do the same thing, but I've had to fix it in two locations. Again, don't need to do this, automatically wants to do a next one, just click off that. Again, it does the same thing, just a slightly different method of doing it. So I fixed it with this one, so if I wanted something to rotate, and then I fixed it on a cylindrical side there. So two different ways. Again, there's lots and lots of different ways you can do the same thing. We'll try and cover most of the different mates as we go throughout the project. So that's our basic joining the two together. Again, this is where we could, you might decide, well, I don't really like this overhang, I want to move the hole position slightly forward. So again, that's where we could potentially go to our base, decide that I'm going to move all these holes forward 10mm, something like that. So again, I could go to, the sketches, edit the sketch, or I think, oh, it wasn't that one, sorry. Go to this sketch. So I've clicked the wrong one. So it's that sketch, the one with the holes on. So in theory I could change that distance here, or that type of thing, and shift it forward, and it would move all the other dimensions as well. But, hopefully you get the idea there. Again, we'll go back to our assembly. It's how we could develop our work. Like I say, we might decide that I actually want it a little bit further forward on our CAD model. Again, you can always save it as a different version if you want to keep the original one. So that's the basics of how we go about assembling things and fixing things using these different mates. Another thing we can add in this section, if you go to the insert again, as you'll see here, we've obviously got our current ones, but we have actually got standard components that we can add in there. So if we click on standard components, this is why I want to show you this bit. You'll see in a second that it can actually have all your nuts, bolts, screws. So again, I tend to use ISO, it's like the international standard ones. Again, I can either choose bolts and screws, nuts, O-rings, pins, washers, all that. So we'll start off with a nut and bolt. Again, you can decide what type you want. So it could be that, and again, it'll always produce a little drawing of it, so like a little set screw, a little bolt. Again, it could be that you want a slotted screw, that type of thing. Again, all different types that you can play about with, and obviously, try different ones so it has different looks to it, type of thing. I'll stick with socket head screws, I think, just for this example. Again, obviously once I go to there as well, I've got lots and lots of different ones. So I've got button head. So again, loads of different fixings that you could have, loads of different styles that you could investigate as part of this. Kind of countersunk ones. Again, we've looked at these in class. Obviously, that would mean that we'd end up having to put a countersunk on this top face, but again, that's relatively straightforward. For this one, then we'll just stick with socket head shoulder screw. So again, always look at the image. That's wrong one. Socket head cap screw. So standard sort of Allen key bolt. Again, you'll see here I can change the size, so yours probably won't be in the M4. We know we've drilled a 4mm hole, so I'm going to select M4. Again, I could make that a bigger one, smaller one, all that type of thing. Again, thickness of that we know is 10mm, so I'm saying I probably want it to go 10mm, but again, I could change that slightly longer. I could change the material type and all that type of thing. Do I just want it steel? Do I want it stainless steel? Do I want it brass? All that type of thing. Again, I'll just stick with the sort of standard stainless for the moment, just to show you. Once we've got the basic dimensions of what we want, we then just click on insert. Again, it will then give you a little preview of it. And again, you'll see, if I just zoom in there, that it's automatically got like this fixing point on the bottom face of there, and it's things, we don't need to worry about that. All you then need to do is decide where you want that. So again, you can see I'm selecting that circle. All I then do is click on it. Happy with that, I click yes. Again, I could insert another one. So again, if I hover over it, it tends to be self-explanatory how you do that. So again, like I say, it's very, very quick to look at different fixing options, all that type of thing. Once you're happy with it, click on there. Again, you might not like, for some reason on these standard components, it keeps this little fixing on there, so you just have to zoom in, right click, and hide all mate connectors, and you'll then have a finished little CAD model. Again, I'll get rid of that origin so I can hide that. So again, these are the sort of images that you could potentially add into your folder, investigating and looking into different fixings, all that type of thing. Again, so that's quite simple. One thing you might want to add to that is you can very simply do exploded views. So again, that's one of the things that is on our NEA guidance about exploded views. So hopefully having some by hand, we can also do some in CAD. So add exploded view, so I've just clicked on the bottom one, add exploded view, and it's literally a case of selecting the piece you want, and you've got arrows. Obviously this one I just want to move up. It does give me a distance, so this one said it's going to move by 65, I'm quite happy with that. So then it allows me to match it in theory, so if I want to manually change that, then I'm happy with that. Again, you can see that it produces the sort of line to do all that. I then go to this section. Again, I've got to zoom out just to get these handles. Again, I can lift that up. Again, I'll probably make that uniform 65. put it exactly in the middle, and I can produce, you know, a real nice exploded view quite simply. You know, again, look, we rated our folder. You know, it really demonstrates, you know, good use of CAD and detailed use of CAD as well. Again, don't panic, because a lot of people panic, because obviously when I click done, you'll see that it actually goes back. So again, make sure you do your print screening and all that type of thing when you can. However, if you click done and it goes back, you think, oh my god, I've lost it. Move that back, think, oh, I want to do it again. You can actually just go to explode view, it actually saves it. So you go to this top section, again, right click on it, activate explode, and you can get that exploded view back quite simply, so it sort of doesn't forget it, if you like. So again, hopefully you'll see that's the sort of thing I was speaking to lots of you about, how you can really enhance and how you can start modelling and refining your sort of CAD work around the sort of different fixings. Like I said, it's very quick to delete that fixing, change it to a countersink, like I say, potentially add a countersink onto your steel frame just using the fillet tool and all that type of thing. But, hopefully that'll help you out a lot of that.